It was a warm spring Friday afternoon in 2017 when three inseparable best friends, Tiana Brooks, Layla Sanders, and Jasmine Reed, set off on what should have been a short overnight visit to see their college boyfriends in a neighboring town. The girls, all 22 and recent college grads, had grown up in the same neighborhood in Charlotte, North Carolina. They laughed through high school, supported each other through heartbreaks, and had just begun looking for their first jobs. This trip was meant to be a breather, a chance to reconnect with their long distance boyfriends after weeks of job hunting stress. But they never returned. They vanished without a trace. No calls, no texts, no witnesses. Just three bright, beautiful young women who disappeared into the night. Before we dive deeper, take a second to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. We cover real life stories that don't just leave you with goosebumps, they leave you with questions. And this story, it's one of the most haunting we've ever told. So stay tuned, because what you're about to hear might just shift how you see missing persons cases. The girls were driving Jasmine's silver 2007 Honda Civic, a car her parents had gifted her for graduation. They left Charlotte at around 4:45 p.m., planning to drive just over 2 hours to Boone, a college town nestled in the Appalachian Mountains. Their boyfriends were all attending Appalachian State University and had promised a weekend of hiking, bonfires, and quality time. Jasmine texted her mom at 6:12 p.m. saying, "We're about 30 minutes away, just past the lake. Can't wait to eat." That was the last anyone ever heard from her. When Sunday came and none of the girls returned calls or showed up for work or school, panic set in. Their families filed missing persons reports, but initial searches turned up nothing. No evidence of a crash, no cell phone pings, nothing. Police questioned the boyfriends, who claimed the girls never arrived, and GPS data seemed to back it up. Jasmine's phone last pinged about 20 miles outside of Boone, near a stretch of forest with no service. That's when the case began spiraling into something darker. Volunteers combed through trails, helicopters scanned forest edges, and dogs were brought in to sniff out the path. But after weeks, then months of intense searching, authorities came up empty-handed. The area where the phone last pinged was vast and wooded, intersected by old, narrow roads and deer trails. One officer called it a Bermuda Triangle in the mountains. Rumors swirled. Did the girls take a wrong turn? Were they carjacked? Did they run away? But those who knew them best said it made no sense. These were not the kind of girls to vanish willingly. The media briefly covered the case, but interest faded after no new leads emerged. Life moved on, painfully and quietly, for the families. Layla's mother would still set out 3 dinner plates some nights, unconsciously including her daughter. Jasmine's father stopped working altogether, and Tiana's younger brother dropped out of school. The silence became suffocating. Every phone call became a possibility, every knock on the door a potential answer, but none came. The trail had gone completely cold. Then, in 2023, 6 years after the disappearance, a hunter in the Blue Ridge Forest reported something chilling. Deep in the woods, down a path barely used even by locals, he stumbled upon an old silver Honda Civic. The car was weather-worn, moss creeping up the tires. The windshield cracked. It was unmistakably Jasmine's. The license plate was still intact. Authorities rushed to the scene, and inside the trunk, 3 duffel bags, each with a name tag. Tiana, Layla, Jasmine. The bags were intact but soaked, the contents rotted. Clothes, toiletries, a worn photo strip of the 3 girls smiling. But the most unsettling detail, there was no sign of foul play inside the car. No blood, no broken windows, no struggle. It was as if they had parked it there and then disappeared into thin air. But why leave their bags? Why not call for help? And how did the car end up so far off course, miles from where Jasmine's phone had last pinged? Cadaver dogs were brought in, and they alerted in 3 separate locations around the area. Soil samples were taken. Drones were used to scan the canopy for signs of disturbed earth. But again, nothing. No bones, no clothing, no trace. Just that eerie, abandoned car and 3 bags as silent witnesses to something no one could understand. The forest, beautiful yet vast, had swallowed the girls whole. What made things even stranger was a series of online posts that surfaced shortly after the car was found. An anonymous user on a local forum claimed they had seen 3 girls matching the friend's description in 2017 near an old ranger station deep in the forest, but the tipster vanished after one post, and authorities could never verify the sighting. Was it a hoax or someone who knew something but was too afraid to speak? Forensics later revealed that the car had been parked in that same location for at least 5 years. That meant whoever left it there did so shortly after the girls vanished. The windows were up, doors locked, battery long dead, but oddly enough, the keys were never found. Investigators believe the car was placed deliberately. Someone knew the area well, and they didn't want it found. The case was reopened as a possible abduction. FBI specialists joined the effort, re-interviewing the boyfriends, neighbors, and even college staff. The boyfriends remained cooperative, but suspicious minds couldn't let go of one detail. All 3 had alibis, but none had proof of expecting the girls that night. There were no messages confirming arrival times, no missed calls asking, "Where are you?" as if they never really expected them to show up at all. Meanwhile, conspiracy theories flooded social media. Some believed the girls had been lured into a human trafficking ring. Others pointed to a shadowy local legend, the story of the Mountain Keeper, a hermit said to live deep in the woods, abducting lost travelers. Of course, those tales were dismissed as folklore, but in the absence of answers, even fiction starts to feel plausible. By early 2024, new investigators joined the task force. They focused on digital forensics, recovering deleted texts, reconstructing timelines, and geolocation trails. One chilling detail emerged. Jasmine had searched what to do if you feel followed just a week before the trip. Had someone been watching them? Did she suspect danger? Her search history painted a picture of growing anxiety, but she never shared her fears aloud. Layla's diary, retrieved from her bedroom after the disappearance, contained an entry that raised eyebrows. Dated 3 days before the trip, it read, "I'm not sure we should go. Something feels off. Jazz said it'll be fun, but I have this weird feeling. We should just stay local." No one took it seriously at the time, but looking back, it reads like a warning ignored. A psychic was brought into the investigation in mid-2024. Desperate families trying anything. She claimed the girls had encountered a man on the road, that he offered help, and that they accepted. She described a red truck, a dog in the front seat, a dirt path. While the police remain skeptical, others say the image matches a known trailhead near the car's discovery site, but no truck, no man, no proof. Media attention returned briefly. News outlets re-aired old footage of the girls laughing at a cookout. A GoFundMe was launched to support private investigations. TikTok sleuths pored over satellite maps, theorizing where the girls might have wandered. But the truth, it still hides in the trees. Today, the forest still holds its secret. Families visit the spot each year, leaving flowers, notes, and photos. But there are no gravestones, no closure, just an unrelenting ache and a sense that justice is still waiting. In the end, it's the silence that haunts me. The unmade calls, the unopened texts, the birthdays past, the holidays, and a question that echoes louder every year. How can 3 young women vanish so completely, with no witnesses, no leads, no remains? So what really happened to Tiana, Layla, and Jasmine? Were they victims of a random predator, lured into something they didn't see coming? Or did they stumble onto something and someone who couldn't let them go? Whatever the answer, it still sleeps under the trees, waiting and maybe watching. Why was the car left so far off course? And why were the bags still inside? Why were there no signs of panic, no distress calls? What could have happened between Jasmine's last cheerful text and the silence that followed? Could someone still be out there who knows the truth and simply chose to stay quiet?